Hold on to your portfolios. Markets are in for a wild ride as gold crashes and the ASX teeters on the edge of a record-breaking drop. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this just a temporary setback or a sign of deeper economic shifts? Stick around to unpack the drama and see what most folks miss about these volatile swings. Hey there, finance enthusiasts. Welcome to our live market updates where we are breaking down the action as it unfolds. Today, the Australian share market looks poised for a dip right after hitting all-time highs, all thanks to a massive plunge in gold prices, its worst single-day crash in 5 years. Meanwhile, silver isn't faring any better, with its spot price tumbling a steep 8%. On the flip side, strong earnings reports from big-name Wall Street firms have propelled the Dow Jones to unprecedented territory. Stay tuned for real-time developments on our blog. Remember, this isn't financial advice, just our take on the numbers. Key events. 3 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:55 p.m. 12 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:47 p.m. 13 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:45 p.m. Pinned. 13 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:45 p.m. Market Snapshot. By David Chow. ASX Futures, minus 0.5% to 9,059 points. ASX 200, Tuesday close plus 0.7% to 9,095 points, close. Australian dollar, minus 0.4% to 64.9 US cents. Wall Street, Dow Jones, plus 0.5%, S&P 500, plus 0.1%, Nasdaq, minus 0.1%. Europe, FTSE, plus 0.3%, DAX, plus 0.3%, Stoxx 600, plus 0.2%. Spot gold, minus 5.7% to $4,106 per ounce. Silver, minus 8% to $48.29 per ounce. Oil, Brent crude plus 0.6% at $61.39 per barrel. Iron ore, minus 0.4% at $103.50 per ton. Bitcoin, plus 0.7% to $111,822. Prices current around 7:45 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Key event. 3 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:55 p.m. Rex Airlines finds a U.S. buyer after voluntary administration. By David Chow. Regional Express has secured a purchaser following over a year in voluntary administration. Administrators announced on Tuesday evening that they've signed a sale and implementation agreement with Air T, an American aviation firm headquartered in Minneapolis. The airline, commonly known as Rex, entered voluntary administration in July 2024 after accumulating $50 million in debt from its primary creditor, PAG. Details on the sale process will be shared before the next creditors' meeting. Regrettably, shareholders from before the collapse won't see any returns, as confirmed by EY administrators. For deeper insights, check out the full report by Miriah Davis and Claire Simmons. Key event. 12 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:47 p.m. Gold and silver prices tumble amid profit-taking frenzy. By David Chow. Australian gold mining stocks are likely heading for a sharp decline following spot gold's most severe one-day drop in half a decade. The precious metal fell 5.7% to $4,106 per ounce, after peaking at a record $4,380 over the weekend. To give you some perspective, this dip might seem dramatic, but gold has skyrocketed about 60% year-to-date, making today's slide mostly about investors cashing in on gains. This marks gold's strongest year since 1978, when the Iranian Revolution drove oil prices and inflation through the roof, sparking a frenzy of panic buying that doubled gold's value in just 12 months. In comparison, this year's surge stems largely from concerns around the Trump administration. Think hefty tariffs on much of the global economy, erratic international policies, a weakening US dollar, and an ongoing government shutdown, paired with hopes for upcoming US interest rate reductions. Silver, often dubbed gold's less glamorous sibling, had an even rougher day, shedding 8% to $48.29 per ounce. And this is the part most people miss. Could these precious metal fluctuations signal a broader shift in investor sentiment towards safer assets, or are we just seeing short-term reactions to political uncertainty? It's a debate worth pondering. Key event. 13 minutes ago, Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 8:45 p.m. ASX poised for a slide off its peak as Dow Jones soars to new heights. By David Chow. Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on ABC's Business and Finance Hub. I'm your host for the next few hours, bringing you the latest twists. Our local share market is gearing up for a modest opening drop, coming right on the heels of smashing a fresh record yesterday. ASX futures indicate a 0.5% decline as trading kicks off in a couple of hours. Meanwhile, the Aussie dollar has slipped 0.4% to 64.9 US cents. This follows a mixed bag on Wall Street, where the S&P 500 barely budged and the Nasdaq dipped 0.2%, dragged down by tech giants like Nvidia, Tesla, and Alphabet, Google's parent. But the Dow Jones defied the trend, climbing 0.5% to a new all-time high, flirting with 47,000 points, thanks to stellar quarterly results from heavyweights such as Coca-Cola, General Motors, and 3M. After hours, Netflix unveiled a net profit of $2.55 billion for the September quarter, up from $2.36 billion last year. Yet, its stock tanked 7% post-announcement because the figures fell short of sky-high expectations. The company pointed to a lingering tax dispute with Brazil as a key culprit behind the underwhelming performance. Grab your favorite brew and settle in, I've got more updates coming your way soon. But here's where it gets controversial, with tech stocks stumbling while traditional giants shine. Is the market signaling a tech bubble burst, or just a healthy correction? Do you think investors are overreacting to earnings misses like Netflix's, or is this a wake-up call for the industry? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Agree, disagree, or share your own hot takes.